Hi, my name is Dr. Jill, and I'd like to speak with you about horses. I ride dressage, and like many of you, the first time I encountered dressage, I thought maybe it was really mean to the horse. And some of you may still think so. But as I've studied dressage for a few years now, I've realized that those high-level riders, they look like they're doing nothing. They don't have whips in their hands and they don't have spurs on their boots. Do you know why that is? It's because they are communicating at these very intricate levels with their body. Their own musculature is used to communicate with the horse. And it's an energetic exchange, and it's very, very detailed and very, very fine-tuned. It takes a person years to learn this kind of attunement. And I would agree that in the early years, it is difficult on the horse. And of course, anything that human beings do can be made into something that's hard on an animal. But if you have the right kind of human being, and by that I mean the right attitude or the right sensitivity to the horse's well-being, you can begin to have an amazing exchange with your horse while riding. You know, those dressage saddles are English saddles. They don't have big saddle horns, and they don't weigh very much. There's not a lot to them, just enough to sit on. And that's because the human body is being used to communicate so much with the horse that you don't want a lot of stuff in between you and the horse. Now, my own experience, it has taken me years to even reach, I would say, a rather rudimentary level of awareness about how to communicate with my horse. And I feel bad for some of my clunkiness as we went along. I had a lot of things to work out in my body and in my mind because there were a lot of old ideas about horses that have come down through the generations. You know, those ideas like you got to show them who's boss, you got to make them do what you want to do. And they are big, usually 1,000 pounds or more. But there's a way of relating to them which is not about domination, but really about opening doors. I mean, it's true they may not always feel like working. Dressage and other riding is an athletic activity, and we don't always feel like being athletic either. But this comes with taking care of your horse's body. And the better your horse feels in its body, the more it's going to be willing to work. And the more that you make work enjoyable for the horse, so they feel proud of what they're doing. They feel like they're pleasing you. And your communications are clear. I think that's one of the hardest parts of dressage, is to have a clear communication. Because so many times we communicate with our bodies, but we have no idea that we are actually communicating. Most of us in the Western world are not that in touch with our bodies. We tend to live such busy lives that we just drag our bodies around from one thing to the next, trying to, have this great life of enjoyment. And it takes a lot of slowing down to really become aware of your body and what you're communicating with it. So those are a few of my thoughts today on dressage riding and on the sensitivity of horses. There's much more ground to cover about horse sensitivity. And I have been so humbled in my learning journey with my horse. She's a great teacher, and the things I've learned were not at all what I expected to learn. So thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear your experiences with horses, and you can communicate those to me through my website, which is www.herdproject.org. That's HERD project.org. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.